Hey everybody, it's The Amazing here, bringing you a review of the Mafex Medicom Stormtrooper from Star Wars Episodes 4, 5, and 6. I'm not really gonna say which episode in particular because it's a Stormtrooper, so whatever. Um, First off, I'll have you know, it's a different sort of plastic. It's not the normal plastic you've seen in the Revolve Tech or the SHF. It's kind of a soft, plasticky material. Feels almost like rubber. And you'll see that on the shoulder pads as I'll slowly zoom in. One thing I will say about the Medicom stuff, it looks exactly like a costume. It's almost like, it's lifelike. It looks a lot better proportionate wise. It's not too skinny, not too small. It's actually really great. One really cool feature I like about it is, if you see right here, he actually has the holster and it actually holds the weapon. But I'm gonna get into that in a second. So let me just fix. Oh, shit. Sorry about that, guys. There we go. So, first off, height-wise, it's actually a little taller, but it turns out the Kyoto ones are slightly a bit taller, and I'm going to show you right now in a second. So, as far as articulation goes, the shoulder pads are attached to the actual torso, the upper torso. The head can rotate all the way left and, well, mostly to the left and right. He can look up, look down. And he has serious ab crunch for a Stormtrooper, so that's pretty good. Like I told you before, it can actually holster his weapon. And like an that's one thing I'll get into actually in a second. But one thing I want to talk about with the Mafex is that, like an SHF, you can pull the legs out, and you get a lot of articulation. It's not double jointed at the knees though, so that's a bummer. But the reason why I like that you can pull it out like an SHF is because on the actual SH Figuarts ones, the armor is actually very hindering. Now, one thing I want to talk about real fast before I show you the height comparison is that the Mafex troopers are really nice, but at the waist, the huge problem is that it falls apart very quickly. And honestly, it's great if you want to cut your Stormtroopers in half, if you want to show them like bleeding out, it's all that other cool stuff. But if you want to do certain stuff, it's kind of a hindrance since it falls apart very easily. It falls right off the ball joint. So that's one bad thing about it. Like I was saying, it's really cool because it looks like armor here. So it's a very soft plasticky material that you can just kind of shape as you want. You can do a lot with it. So real quick, I'm going to back him up, and I'm going to show you guys some size comparisons so you can see what it's like. So this is next to the Kyoto one, which I'm going to fix the foot. Sorry if you feel like it's taking forever for this. But my Revolve Tech ones always give me the most trouble standing, and I apologize. Alright, now they're just being jerks. I don't even care anymore. And next to it, we're going to put the SHF. And I'm going to zoom out and focus so you guys can see it all. So in the middle, there's Kyoto. On the right, there's Mafex. On the left, there's SH Figuarts. As you can see, SH Figuarts stands the smallest. It's about 5.4 inches. Kyoto is 6.05. And Mafex is actually 6.02. So there are your actual height proportions. Like I said, the Mafex ones look like the most bulked and fleshed out. Where if you want to look like, a wider, thicker trooper, you have that one. Whereas the SHF and the Kyoto are a lot neater. More uniform, and the trooper attire is, I would say, it's a lot cleaner, I would say. But the actual Mafex one looks exactly like a costume. Now, I won't get it twisted. This one actually looks fantastic. It can holster the weapon, which I will show you actually right now, which I thought was really cool. Sorry, I need to change my focus because my camera has been tripping out lately. I'll work on getting a new one. So you pull the holster up, you show the weapon, and you pretty much place it in like you normally would. Please be careful for the front holster of the blaster because you can actually break the top point. I have not done that on mine, thank God, so I don't want to deal with that. And as you can see, voila, he can hold his blaster, which is actually the greatest point of any of the troopers, because the SHF nor the Kyoto can do that. Another drawback of the actual Mafex trooper is that, I apologize, when taking the hands off, it's kind of a pain, because this joint is very, very tiny. I'm actually having trouble focusing on it. That ball joint is so tiny, and that is a major problem for me, because it can be easily broken and snapped off. It's happened with a few SHF. It's happened with a Batman Mafex. 2.0, not the 1.0 one. And one of my Spider-Mans. So please be careful. It almost feels like it's hard for the hands to hold up because the ball joint is so small. But if you don't already notice, the arm joint is actually done really well. Most people worry about Mafex is the horrible face sculpts and paint designs and things such as that. You don't really have to worry about on the Stormtrooper. It's actually done very, very well. The joints hold up very easily. They have not popped out on me yet or been like really weird or crazy. Like I said, this is the one drawback. It snaps apart very easily at the waist. I don't know if that's just me or anyone else, but that is a huge drawback of mine. Here's leg rotation. So it swabbles in and out, goes up and down, so you can get the best actual rotation. The ankles are actually on the ball joint, so you get ankle pivot and like the best rotation. Overall, after a year and a half wait, this is probably one of the better troopers. Better than the SHF. Great as far as it can hold the holster like Kyoto. But if he obviously was not a little wider, I would actually just take him apart and swap this on my Kyoto if it was up to me. But that's probably what I'm going to end up doing. It may look a little wonky, but I like the way it looks. Overall, the Mafex Trooper gets a solid 8.5. Depends on how I'm looking at it, but on a good day, it gets a solid 8.5. But I'm going to give it an 8 total. It's a great trooper, but after a year and a half wait, only comes with 2 sets of hands, no closed fists, just holstering and relaxed palms. It's just lacking. It's very lacking. But hopefully it doesn't jump in crazy price, and I can army build a few. Maybe buy 3 or 4 and call it tops. Not like my Kyoto where I bought like 12 of them, and I probably shouldn't have done that. But yeah. It stands at about 6 inches. It's a great solid figure. Only trouble is with no double jointed knees and the waist falling apart. Otherwise, I'm very happy with it. So, if you guys like it, hopefully, you continue to buy the stuff and support it. But it's a solid 8. So I'm rambling on. Enough about that. Like, subscribe, comment. Thanks again so much for actually watching. I do appreciate it. Have a good night, guys. Thanks.